Go.
Greg, I don't wear jewelry too often, but if I was going to do it, I'd be wearing Figgy Pudding art.
Tell me about it.
Figgy Pudding Art is a company that was established right here in Rochester by two of our good friends, Ellie and Crystal. They do a lot of different high-quality jewelry, watches, all that good stuff, some sweet artwork, a lot of cool watercolor stuff, but it's the highest quality materials you can get, man. Like, what do we got? We got gold, platinum, sterling silver, more platinum. I'm not really sure, but this stuff is unreal. Real gemstones, real awesome stuff. But they were best friends. They started the company. It is blowing up, and it is all that my fiance Leah wears. Like I said, if I were to be a jewelry guy, whatever a jewelry guy is, I would be wearing this stuff. Check them out at Figgy Pudding Art on Instagram. They also do some kind of like live shows, I guess it would be, where you can come in and they just sell all their shit and make a bunch of money. But that's their next show is May 4th, 3 to 6 p.m. At the studio in Rochester. But check them out again at Figgy Pudding Art on Instagram. Sound good?
Yeah, son.
Sure.
Wear it.
That's amazing.
The dogs.
Is that even a real story?
That's a fact.
This is complete nonsense, Greg.
Read a book.
I guess you are kind of artistic.
Incredible.
What are you even talking about, man?
Go for broke.
I don't even know what that means. Let's get it going.
Let's get her going. Keep her going, baby.
Greg, what's up, you motherfucker?
That is a strong start. I love it.
I got a lot of energy today. One of the reasons that I have a lot of energy is because we have some guests on for the first time.
Ooh.
Woo!
Hey.
So today we have our first guests in studio, the founders and owners of Figgy Pudding Art, Ellie and Crystal. Say hello.
Hello.
Hey. They are joining us, and it's going to be awesome. They actually live right around the corner from me, but if you listen to the intro, they're supporting us greatly. They have a company called Figgy Pudding Art, and they produce all this awesome handmade jewelry and shit like that.
Not platinum.
Yeah, sorry. I said there's a lot of platinum. But it's awesome stuff. Like I said, my fiance Leah only wears that stuff. It's really beautiful stuff. But Greg, before we get going, I wanted to say thank you to our...
You're welcome.
Not to you. You can go sit on your thumb. I want to say thank you to our guest from last week, Robert Forto. He called in. We did the Skype interview. He's the musher, not the musher. But he was the man. He hooked us up. He basically showed us how to do it. Had some great stories. Clarified some of the untruths about Balto and some of his other fucking Alaskan stories. But if you guys want to follow him again, it's at Dog Works Radio on Instagram, and he has a dope podcast at Dog Works Radio. So check him out. All right, we're back. We're back in the game, guys. So Greg, what happened last week? Did you do anything fun?
No, absolutely nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
I live a boring life, Scott.
That sucks.
I feel like you led me into that real strong, and like you knew I did something fun, and I did not. I passed my test, but that's about it. That was 2 weeks ago, though.
Greg works with numbers or something. I'm not really sure what he does, but he passed a test that was good for him, so I congratulate you.
Yes, thank you.
All right, so girls, introduce yourself. Women, not girls. Women, introduce yourself. Ladies, introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your business.
Hey. So I'm Ellie, and this is my BFF, Crystal.
Hello.
I'm a full-time school counselor in the city school district, Rochester City School District, and Crystal is a third grade teacher.
You're the true heroes. You're the real heroes.
Yeah.
So
Road
what
warriors.
was it, like 3 years ago? 2 years ago we started?
Yeah, it was like 3 years ago.
3 years ago, I had like a dream of making jewelry, and it was Christmas night, and I woke up and I said to my fiance Kyle, I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna make jewelry. So then
and
I
he
started,
was like, what are you fucking thinking?
yeah, he thought I was insane. So the next day we went shopping for materials, and then I slowly tried to get Crystal hooked also.
So were you doing this kind of stuff beforehand? Like just in your spare time, or have you done it before? What got you?
I always I loved art in high school and in college, and I would always like to do arts and craftsy stuff and make my mom bracelets. And then I just kind of was like, screw it, I'm gonna make jewelry for my friends, and started there. And then people actually liked the stuff that we were making.
That was a super smart way to do it too, because it was almost like pre-promotion.
Yeah,
you were giving it out to your friends who love the stuff because it's awesome quality, but then at the same time, that was how you built your brand. What?
I never got anything.
We don't do men's yet, but we're working on it.
Well,
you telling me I wouldn't look good in a couple of earrings, or bracelets,
Sure would.
We don't judge.
and hey,
yeah.
Greg would don't assume my gender, ma'am.
It's ma'am. Have you seen that yet? Oh,
no.
Man. Greg would look good with a nice little green rhinestone nose ring, I think.
Yes.
Maybe some emeralds.
Emeralds.
Or jade in there.
You got a little jade, yeah. Greg, compliment your eyes.
Hey, when you're hot, you're hot.
Look good, feel good, play good. All right, well, that's cool. So then you guys, I know you have your studio, but you've done most of your promotion through social media, right?
Yeah, we were making stuff through our in our living rooms in my apartment and in Crystal's house, and then our husbands / fiancés kind of were fed up with it taking over, so we got a pretty good deal on a studio space over at 34 what is it, 34 Elton Street?
Yes.
Downtown Rochester for
Studio 34.
Studio 34 Rochester for everybody that listens from Rochester.
Yeah. So we rent out a little studio space in that room, and it's awesome.
All I heard was Studio 54.
Studio 34 to clarify.
Oh,
okay.
Oops, Studio 34.
No, you said 30. You said 34.
Greg
But
doesn't know what he.
Do you know?
He's not listening.
Are you
He's
too
not a good
aware?
listener.
Are you too aware of what Studio 54 is?
No. What?
No. Okay, so it was a club back in the 80s,
I think
70s,
the
disco era that just had the biggest celebrities there, and it was just absolutely absurd.
Yeah,
a lot of drug use, a lot of sex.
Yeah, we talked about it on a previous podcast, but
In what city?
New York City.
In New York City, but it was right in the midst of, so it might have been early 80s because it was during the AIDS crisis, but
Sure.
they literally substituted regular furniture for all leather, not leather, all what would it
Pleather.
be? Maybe pleather, yeah, but it was basically whatever's waterproof because people would just be fucking all over the place. Doing
Something
drugs
they
all
could
over the place.
hose
They
down.
just hose it down, but they were so selective on the people they let in that it drew celebrities and stuff to come, and then they started letting only celebrities in, and everybody's doing drugs and just fucking all over this place.
Yeah.
It was nuts.
Yeah.
In the wild
Vice presidents, you name it.
Wow.
They were there. There's a great movie about it starring Mark Wahlberg.
What's
Of
that?
course.
Studio 54.
Oh, I didn't even know.
watch it.
Didn't know. We'll have to watch it.
Studio 34 is nothing like Studio 54.
Cooler if it was.
Okay, awesome. So, where can people follow you now? I'm gonna let you do a plug right in the beginning.
Instagram is definitely the best. We've tried doing getting a website going, and also Etsy. But just with our work schedules, Instagram, a lot of people look through our Instagram that has the most updated jewelry that we've made. And so a lot of times people will just DM us on Instagram, and we take Venmo, check card, cash, all that good stuff. So Instagram at Figgy Pudding Art is definitely the best way to follow us and kind of see what we've been working on.
Check them out. That's the way to do it. Well, awesome. I'm gonna cut you off right there. You can fucking talk about Figgy Pudding a little more at the end. All right, so Greg, I wanted to say one thing that I thought was hilarious because in a previous episode, it was actually National Women's Day, not one woman, and they were putting the first all-women skywalk team, so a NASA.
What's a skywalk team?
I'm not 100% sure what it means, but basically it was an all-women team that was going to go into space and do whatever they do, and we talked about it for 10 minutes, literally in this one episode, and I just found out a week ago that it never launched, they never actually went into space because one woman couldn't fit into her suit. Oh boy. Couldn't fit into her suit. So they didn't just like tell her you can't go. They were like, hey, you were just canceling the trip. You guys can't go at all. And I'm like, either this, like,
You can just
she
leave her
have some
behind?
big old titties or something. Like, what was it? Like, why didn't the
was
suit
plump.
fit? What?
She's just plump. I'm so confused though. Why can't they just leave one behind?
That's
It was
what
like
I
a no
said.
woman left behind scenario, or
Title IX in NASA. Is that what it is? You guys.
NWLB.
What does that mean?
No woman left behind.
That's awesome. Isn't
I
it
don't
Title
know.
IX though? That's like no child left behind in school.
no Title
No,
IX.
Title IX's like
Oh,
women,
that's
like
women's stuff.
equality for women in sports.
What is no child left behind, or is it just called no child?
I think
left
that's just
behind?
like an Obama thing.
Oh, okay.
It must be called something.
Yeah, no child left behind.
Yeah.
Hold that mic right up to your face.
Yeah, you got to get.
Yeah, just
right
hold it.
in
Hold it.
there.
Hold it like
There
you guys
go.
are like the lead singer of Queen, but you're two shits.
You don't have to. Oh man.
But yeah, so they ended up not actually doing the spacewalk because the one woman couldn't fit into her suit, and they didn't clarify why she couldn't fit into her suit. But I was just like, that's
I'm
ridiculous.
gonna guess she was too.
Sexy.
Yes, we're just gonna say she was too
Too many
sexy
French
for the suit.
So I heard that the other day, and I was like, I need to fucking bring this up. The other thing that I wanted to talk about, have you guys heard about the condom that needs 4 people to open?
Wait.
No.
No.
What do you
wait,
think?
Your normal condoms don't need 4 people to open?
When do you have 4 people?
It's a joke.
Oh wait, sorry, 4
bad
hands.
one.
It's not 4 people, but 4 hands.
Oh, teamwork.
Teamwork.
What about hands and feet?
If you're into that kind of thing, I guess you could work that out. So what do you guys think that means? 4, like, you need 4 hands to open it. So why would you need that?
It's so big.
All right. Well, Crystal's
two
husband's
people-
got a hog on him, huh?
Good for her.
Guys
right?
got a
That's not
piece
normal.
on him.
The 2 people who are having consensual sex both have to agree to open it together.
Wow.
Right?
You're not wrong. That's
That was
exactly
a
right.
lot better than my answer.
Yeah.
A lot better than my answer.
Well, congratulations.
I pictured some sort of Chinese finger trap mechanism going on.
You can tell you're a counselor from that response.
Yes.
But yeah,
That's
I mean,
what she's teaching the kids.
what a way.
Consensual sex.
Yes. Yeah.
It sounds like a not environmentally friendly.
Why? You're using the same amount of material. It's just
I
got
don't
like
know.
4 little pre-serrated edges, I guess. I don't know. But what a way to kill a boner. You know, you're like, let me throw this thing on. You're like, wait, I need all 4 hands. And you're like intertwined like a Celtic knot trying to open up this fucking condom.
I want to know what it looks like, the picture of it.
Yeah, bring one of these bad boys
Let
up.
me see. Let me see what I can find here.
Can you use your teeth to open one end and then like 2 hands and a foot to
Ellie's
open
innovating
the
the
other?
game. She's like a foot, a mouth, a hand.
All I'm
Your pet.
all
You
I'm
got
gonna
the
say-
dog-
Pet.
You got a
Your
dog.
child.
All I'm gonna say.
You want a brother, baby?
Where there is a will, there is a way.
True.
I'm gonna see what comes up. I don't know how to
encourage
search.
consent. I was
Yes.
right.
No, I wasn't joking. That's
You should
absolutely what it's for.
encourage
Play it?
I'll play it. I'm not sure what this means. The title says,
Why?
"New condom is designed to encourage consent. Why do people hate it so much?"
Oh man.
This is a controversial title.
I don't. Should we?
Oh, Greg's the only one that can hear it. Greg's the only one.
I'm the only one who can hear it.
It's a no. Oh yeah, it's a box. It kind of looks like almost like a box of cigarettes. Kind of. You need like a fingerprint analysis to open it. Like it's an iPad or something.
Yeah.
We're gonna Rubik's Cube.
We're gonna end up clipping all this out
Absolutely not. Why?
because there's no words or anything. No one's gonna be able to hear it.
Go Google.
It's just literally us right now listening to fucking words.
All right. You're taking a leak? All right. So if you guys are, if it's your wedding night and you're super Christian and you want to have extra consent, get this thing. But I don't know who else is going to use it. Especially kids who are getting free condoms in college. But that's neither here nor there. So what do you guys do this week? Break it down. Do you do anything fun? Think back. Every time Greg and I do this, it seems like it was a month the last time we
Yeah.
did a podcast, but it's 6 days.
Well, my little taco girl. So I have 2 dogs, Taco and Harry, or Harry Taco. And
Harry Taco.
Taco's my little 7-month-old husky Malamute mix. She's a little nut job. We're trying to train her to be a therapy dog. So it was nice this week. So we went to the dog park a couple times, and she ran right through the mud and the puddles and the pond. So it was fun, but
Yeah, she's
the
got a
aftermath
lot of
was
hair.
a little bit.
Wait, I think I saw that video of her getting pushed in the pond by the other 2
Oh
huskies.
yeah, 2 huskies, a
little teamwork.
one after her. They thought she was cute and kind of shoved her in the muddy pond.
A little teamwork on the counterparts.
Yeah.
So you mentioned Harry, and I had to bring this up because I've known Ellie. Greg's known Ellie for what? How many years? Maybe like 7, 8
can't
years.
count.
I don't know,
Yeah.
but you've known my fiance Leah for ever. But the first time I met Ellie, I found out that she got her dog via eBay. Her first dog, Harry. So explain that, because
So in college, my senior year, we had a big house. There was 8 of us that lived in it, in South Bend, Indiana. And
quiz. What college or university is in South Bend, Indiana? Not asking you. That's for the peeps listening. All right, continue. Sorry.
Notre Dame. So senior year, we had a house. We had a nice fenced-in backyard. It was great, and I've always wanted a dog. And so I was, Googling. We went and met a little baby Chihuahua. Whatever. I was like meeting a bunch of dogs.
Okay.
And then I was on eBay, and there was this little silver dog. He was like gray with a white chest, and I was
Were you looking for dogs on eBay?
well, no, actually, I think I Googled it, and it took me to an eBay link. So there was a silver cute dog, looked just like Harry, but gray with a white chest. And I reached out to the person. I was like, hey, because it was posted for $100, which was nothing. I used my financial aid money and got me a little puppy.
Yeah, that seems like something a woman would do.
Yeah,
I'm just kidding. I did
yeah.
the same fucking thing.
So I reached out to them, and I was like, hey, is this puppy still available? And they were like, no, actually, he's not, but I have this one left. And his name was Chance. Harry's name was Chance, which
Sounds like a stripper name.
wasn't feeling. And so he sent me pictures, and he was the cutest little fucking thing. And I met her at a gas station in Indiana. And we both drove about an hour, and
Met midway.
he was adorable. And
In my mind, it's almost like you saved his life kind of thing.
I don't know what.
You're like, yeah, I don't know about that.
What goes on eBay with pets?
Yeah,
I never knew that.
I didn't
you
either. I know.
That's why I think it's when you told me that initially, I was like, what the fuck?
That's $100 I ever spent. My
Yeah.
little hair babe.
Hair babe. Harry's a cool guy. He resembles Dobby from Harry Potter. It's pretty hilarious. He's a little chocolate lab mixture.
Is it Harry Potter or Lord of the Rings?
Oh wait,
Potter.
oh wait.
Is it Harry Potter?
Oh yeah, Dobby's
You're
Harry
thinking
Potter. You're thinking
Schmeagol.
of
Schmeagol. Yeah, he looks like him too.
Schmeagol.
wandering to rule them all.
Oh wait, I think I did post a
precious.
picture in my personal Instagram.
I thought so.
Them side by side. What the fuck?
I'm trying.
No, of the character.
Oh, the
You know
character
Dobby?
Dobby.
What? I have to accept it?
We're talking Dobby, not
Let me
Schmeagol
look at my
anymore.
phone.
Go for it. Go for it.
Mine too.
And I gotta-
Get
So that's Dobby. But there's
100%.
there's a hilarious picture that Ellie incorporated, like a side by side,
Oh, yeah.
and it's Harry just sitting there with his ears back, and it looks just like Dobby.
Yeah, Harry's definitely tried to bite me like a dozen times.
Oh yeah, this is what I was gonna say. So Greg has an issue where like every dog tries to bite
A
him,
lot of dogs try and bite me.
and it's
Do you know what that says about you, right? I mean, I'm just going to address the elephant in the room.
go ahead, yeah, address it.
You might be a shitty person.
Look at this girl coming on the podcast, tearing me apart.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I was like, Greg, you are just the most beta human alive.
Oh, is that what it
Yeah,
is?
the dogs are like, fuck this guy.
I don't know. I think I just come on real strong.
Or your fingers smell like super poopy, so they're like, get away from my
Ooh.
asshole.
Dude, they did tests on the touch screens at McDonald's. So they put in touch screens. so you don't have to talk to a person. You can just touch the screen and order. 98% of them were tested positive for fecal matter.
What?
I'll tell you what. If
Ellie,
I gotta
have you
take
been
a
going
shit,
to McDonald's a lot?
No.
what's that? Oh, try going to the. All right, let me refresh her here. But yeah, Greg, if I'm gonna hop into a McDonald's, it's not to get food. I'll tell you that much. It's to drop a big old dump.
Scott's gonna take a dump and then purposely not wash his hands, and just touch the screen alone.
Yeah, because I know I'm not eating that shit. Somebody is. All the way at the bottom. Wow, I've never gone on Instagram on using a web browser. It's way nicer. Like everything looks great. I'm trying to find the picture of Harry and Dobby. Harry as Dobby.
Did you just have a
Dobby
picture
is
of
her.
Mini-Me up there?
I did
He
not.
died.
Vern Troyer?
Yeah, he fucking died.
Wasn't he like a? He has a. Well, one, he has a sex tape.
One of my favorite little guys.
That's like the only.
There's a picture of Peter Dinklage and my dad. Peter Dinklage from
Where?
Lord of
Did
the
I just
Rings,
go
the
by
little
it?
midget.
Yeah, Peter Dinklage.
Looks just like my
I think it's
Sasha.
down more.
We actually brought
What are
that
we
up.
doing right now?
That's hilarious. Hang on, there's a couple things that I need to send that to me, Ellie, because I'll post that.
That was the picture of Chance. Harry when he was a baby.
Oh,
His name was Chance.
Chancey boy.
Look at this.
Chancey boy.
Look.
All right. Either way, I can't find it right now. I'm gonna post it at some point.
So cute.
We'll check it out. Either way. But all right, Greg. So you had a shitty week. You have nothing to give to the podcast right now because you had a terrible week. Actually,
yep.
I brought this up. You guys are still leaning the phone. I brought this up the other day though. There is a ketamine. I was telling Greg this the other day. Just recently got approved to treat patients with depression. So it got approved by the FBI or FDA.
FBI.
The FBI. But the FDA just recently approved ketamine as a nasal spray solution for patients with depression. How wild is that?
That's crazy.
It's pretty cool. All right. Just here's the fun fact.
All right, then.
All right.
Well, then I thought you guys would enjoy that, you know?
Wait, is your name spelled with 2 S's?
No, why?
Because that's how Scott typed down.
Yeah, I noticed that.
I just
I wasn't
didn't
gonna
care.
say anything
Crystal.
Crystal.
Crystal. All right. Well, cool. So, Greg,
Yes.
I love you.
Yes.
I was literally
Get on with it.
get on with it. So my backyard is fucking half mud right now because every time we let my 2 dogs out, they run in circles around the outside and just create mud. So it's almost like a NASCAR track of dogs. But Greg, I know that your pup with the big ass.
Yes.
Does he do that in your yard or
big
no?
old booty? Do what? I
Like
wasn't
run in
listening.
circles?
No, we don't really let him run around too often because we don't want him full of mud.
Wait a minute. But you let him run into garages, right?
Oh, yes. So this is an interesting story. So I'm taking Oliver for a little stroll, and we walk by this house we walk by often. They have 2 like Irish setters. Is that a real thing?
Yeah.
They look like
They kinda
Goldens, a little
longer hair, kind of.
real
They're like
long
brown
red
and
hair.
white.
No, real long dark red hair, real tall, like taller and a little thinner and leaner.
Yeah. Okay. Continue.
But anyways, so this dog runs out of the house. They always leave like the garage side door open that the dog just kind of hangs out with. We walk by, runs out and says hello to Oliver. So this time, the woman who lives there runs out. She's got a glass of wine in her hand. She's like, oh, hey, yada, yada. And so she clearly wants the dogs to play. She wants to say hello. So I walk in the yard. And
Just friends making friends.
yeah, I've had a few drinks at this point. So I was like, all right, yeah, we'll say hello. But anyways, Oliver's just trying to drag me on the leash. And I'm like getting like really fed up with it. And she just goes, just let him go. He'll be fine. Like, probably shouldn't just let my dog run around, but I want to test his theory. So I do. I just drop the leash and let him run around. So I'm just talking to the woman, like getting to know her. She's my neighbor. And Oliver and the other dog just disappear into the garage. And Oliver comes out just like happy as a clam. This dog just stays in there. I'm like, oh my God. I know exactly what went down.
Was he feeling real meaty?
Oh, yeah.
Real
Feeling
meaty.
real good. So it definitely went down inside the garage. And I felt really bad. I kind of knew it was up because he was kind of chasing her around the whole time with that look in his eye. Like a little son of a bitch.
He still has huge balls on him.
Oh, yeah.
What?
Not
He hasn't been neutered?
No.
So
I'm praying this dog has been spayed.
Ooh,
what kind of dog is your dog?
A golden retriever.
Are you gonna get him neutered?
Is there an Irish
I
setter?
don't know. You gonna breed him?
I don't know. I'm debating getting him neutered or not. But anyway, so I grabbed him as quick as I could and tried to leave, and he would just plant. I had to drag him
I hope that's
down the entire street to get him home, and he just cried the whole night. Like, cried.
He's in love.
He's in love. I called Greg on the phone. I'm like, hey, what's up, man? I just hear, "Ooh, ooh." Like him in the background, like, where's my woman? Where's my woman?
What was her name?
No idea.
Oh.
I forgot both the owner and the dog's name. I've met them like 3 times.
They named her Moltres.
Irish setter golden retriever mixes are freaking cute.
Yeah, they look.
Yes, that is the dog.
They kind of look like fox red labs, but with long hair.
So you didn't ask her if
No,
Good
I got
job.
out of there quick. Real quick.
Oliver gave that dog a butt facial and bounced. I've never said that before. Sorry, ladies.
Yeah, we're hitting it and quitting it. We're getting out of there real fast.
Oh my god. All right. So for you guys, for Ellie and Crystal, what Greg and I usually do is tell a story throughout, or a true story about dogs in history.
Yes.
But do you have any other stories about maybe Harry or Taco? I don't know why you named your dog Taco.
I love tacos.
I love tacos.
I love tacos, and they're my favorite food. And it makes actually, you were the one. Crystal was the one who came up with the name taco,
I didn't think she would go for it, but
but I did. I did.
Okay.
Yeah, I love tacos, and she's a Australian Shepherd Husky, or not? What the fuck
No,
am I
she's
talking about?
a-
She's a Malamute Husky mix. So like,
it has nothing to do with tacos.
so it's just kind of funny.
Couldn't be. Yeah, I mean, further away from tacos.
And my other dog's name is Harry. So I forget who it was, but they were like, "Do you know, like, do you realize that like you named your dog's Harry Taco?" And, you know,
You
mind
also
out of the
named your
gutter.
Harry after your grandpa, and your dad was pissed.
True.
But I mean, I know Harry, and so Harry's what, like 45 pounds? He's a chocolate
Yeah.
lab
Little
mix.
guy.
Yeah.
But you got Taco how long ago?
So she's 7 months old. I got her at 10 weeks.
And the last time I came over to your house, she was a full-blown fucking Honda Civic.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, she was a huge dog.
She's probably, I think she's like 50 pounds, but she looks way bigger than Harry because she's so fluffy. She's got like fluffy husky hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a big girl. Just
But
like her mama.
She's so smart though too. Like
She
I feel
is.
like she's just a terrorist
Oh
at
yeah,
times.
she's. I mean, again, we're training her. We're hopefully she'll pass the therapy dog training so she can come to work with me with kids.
Wait,
But-
say what the final test is for that, for the therapy dog training.
Say it.
Like what?
Isn't it that they have to like sniff food and not eat it?
Oh yeah,
Like,
they have. Well,
they
they have to
put,
like leave it. Like you have to say leave. Like we've been working on this though in training. Like I put a little piece of hot dog right next to her and I say leave it, and she leaves it, and then I give her a treat. So that's just one of the parts. And then she has to like walk through a group of people and not get distracted. And so yeah.
Oh,
we'll
I've
see.
seen that video on YouTube where it's basically like it's an alleyway. Maybe like 100 yards long, not 100 yards, 50 yards long, but there's like food on each side, and then the owner, so Ellie, you would be on the other side of this alleyway, and there's snacks, hot dogs, dog
Yeah.
treats, lasagna, whatever dogs fucking want to eat.
Lasagna.
but you're supposed
Tacos.
you're supposed to call tacos eating tacos. Genocide. But then the dog
Cannibalism.
yeah, cannibal.
Jesus, people.
I guess if you're well, both. It'd be both. If you ate a fuck. If you eat 100,000 tacos and you're a taco, that's genocide and cannibalism,
Sure is.
right?
Wrong.
Is it?
Yep. Right.
Good
Well, if you're trying, say a taco was a race. If you are a taco,
If taco was
Lord. Hey, Scott, if you don't know who the idiot at the table is, it's probably you.
you're not thinking deeply about it enough. So Adolf Hitler might have been a Jew, right? He fucking started killing all the Jews. Genocide. He didn't eat them, but
He probably did.
Oh God.
Adolf tacos. Adolf tacos genocide.
So yeah, so this is where the show goes sometimes, guys. Love your clarification. I mean, you guys can. You don't need to just let us keep rambling about this nonsense. Where was I going with this? Oh yeah, but I saw a video where this dog. It's a golden retriever, Greg. So similar brand to your dog, which I assume got its brand from you. But it's supposed to make its way across the path without eating any of the food on the sides, and immediately this dog just starts eating everything in sight. Like I don't know. It was like a dog show though. They're like, oh, this is a prime prospect. He is going to be one of the best dogs here. It just starts nomming on everything. Yeah. But either way, I hope Taco does great. I'm sorry.
Me too.
Okay. Greg, I had to take a leak. Pause it.
No, just keep going.
All right, you keep
What
going.
do we want to do? What's next?
Stories. You want to tell
Stories? Should I go first?
your story? You tell your story.
All right.
Greg, Greg's story is about Dalmatians, bitch. Oh, just type that. It's just about
I saw
Dalmatians.
2 Dalmatians at the dog park this morning.
Oh.
And I haven't seen them one in like years. I was
So-
mind blown.
These particular Dalmatians? Elaborate.
Well, Taco and I went to the dog park this morning, and there were 2 Dalmatians. One's name was Ro, and when was the last time you saw a Dalmatian?
When I was like 5 and it almost bit my head off.
Yeah. Well,
Are Dalmatians like aggressive?
they're apparently they're like not the nicest dog, but I mean every kid watches 101 Dalmatians, and they seem like they're so cute and cuddly.
Yeah, no, the last time I saw a Dalmatian, I was in 2nd grade.
Yeah,
I lived in
right?
Shiloh before I moved to Buffalo.
West
And
What side?
anyways,
Crystal's from Gates, child.
but I'm pretty sure it bit me.
Yeah,
I get bit by dogs a lot.
these 2 that I met this morning at the dog park, I was like, oh my god, I've never seen a Dalmatian, but they were super sweet. They were super sweet and super kind and loved the other dogs. So
Right now, Crystal is making out with Leah.
Leah sounds like she's like biting you when she licks you. She's like,
Yeah, she's a little odd.
calm down.
She's got that pea brain. The less you pet her, the more she'll leave you alone. Get out of here, dog.
That's usually how it goes. All right, so Dalmatians. Dalmatians became famous dogs in history for helping firefighters when horses pulled water wagons to the scene of a fire. Yikes. Thank God for technology.
I mean, a lot of shit burnt down back then.
Oh, yeah. Seriously.
not
If
funny.
a fire broke out, you're just screwed. The whole town's done. Dalmatians are strong dogs who can run for miles with considerable speed. Did not know that. They became popular with aristocrats during the 18th century in the days of coach travel in Europe. Having a natural affinity to horses, the dogs would run with the carriages and protect the horses from other animals that could spook or attack them from the ride. I did not know that. In the 1800s, when fire engines were horse-driven carriages, they call them fire hydrant or fire engines, like they have an engine,
the dog.
but it's just a big bucket of water.
Well,
being
back
pulled by
then,
a
yeah.
horse.
I mean, it was like it was basically just a pump system.
Yeah,
I mean, there was no engine at all. Fire trucks, it was just like a big old barrel of water. They just pumped the water.
yeah. Bring a picture up for the girls here. So, anyways, Dalmatians were adopted by firehouses in Europe and the U.S. The dogs were a valuable asset to the firefighters in several ways.
All right, well, tell me about it because this is pretty stereotypical.
Like, what makes a Dalmatian different than other dogs? Why was it the dog of choice?
Okay, so if you listen to the story, they have a natural
Let's
affinity
hear it.
to horses.
She is ADD.
The dogs would run with the carriages and protect the horses from other animals that could spook or attack them
They're
during the
horse-like.
ride.
Oh.
So they kind of like walked alongside the horses and were like, hey, I'm going to protect you from all these
Very cool.
other animals. I'm just picturing this getting even harder and harder to put out a fire. A, you're working with this carriage with a bucket of water on top of it. And B, you have to have dogs.
What and how the heck did they come up with 101 Dalmatians with Cruella de Vil? Like, that doesn't really have to do anything.
She's got to
with
be the biggest
Dalmatians.
fucking C word out of any
That-
Disney movie
I agree.
ever.
That is not included in the story. So I will have
Maybe
to
next
get
week.
back to you on that. Anyways,
Come back next week.
so the dogs were a valuable asset to firefighters in the several ways that I'm going to tell you about. When there was no fire, the Dalmatians would act as watchdogs.
Ooh, okay. Ooh, look at these motherfuckers. I brought up a picture. Holy shit, dude. I'm looking at a picture right now. I'll share it on the Instagram page. The fire, the fire truck. What did they call it? A fire
wagon.
engine.
It was
The
an
fire
engine.
wagon.
Big, nice old wheels.
They're like 6-foot wheels. The circumference is like 6 feet.
Have you never seen a wagon before?
Yeah, when's the last time you saw a wagon with 6-foot wheels? You cock. Sorry.
I mean, come on, man. Read a book.
All right, read a book, Greg.
Continue. So, the dogs would prevent thieves from stealing equipment and horses so the men didn't have to. Interesting. They also provided companionship. There's my reading skills coming through. Companionship to the horses.
Alliteration.
Horses are not solitary animals. They enjoyed having company, and the Dalmatians formed an amazing close bond with them once they were introduced. All right. When there was a fire and the alarm sounded, the Dalmatians would dash outside and bark to let the people know they needed to get out of the way so that the wagons could get out quickly. That wasn't my reading skills. I promise. So apparently they would bark and get people out of the way so that the wagons could move through. That's a pretty cool skill. I would just text someone and go home.
If you're about to run somebody over, text them. They're dead while they're getting that text message, man.
This building's on fire. You'll find me in bed.
Get the fuck out the way.
Once the wagons were on their way, the dogs would run with them and continue barking to clear a path to the scene. Wonderful. When firefighters were concentrating on putting out the fire, the Dalmatians would distract and comfort the horses, who are afraid of fires. Did you know that? Horses afraid of fires.
I bet every horse isn't afraid of fire, but continue.
As they pulled the wagon closer to the blaze, they also stayed near the wagons to prevent people from stealing equipment and horses, and sometimes they would even help rescue people from burning buildings. I want to hear more about that.
We'll fucking
I would
keep
love
reading.
to see a dog comforting a horse.
Elaborate on that, huh? What do you mean by comforting?
Huh.
That was in the story.
Yes, it was. So today,
part.
Dalmatians are no longer needed to clear pathways or protect and calm horses, but many firehouses keep the famous dog to serve as a mascot and to educate the public in fire safety. They continue to make excellent watchdogs, and they even are good at catching rats that have taken up residence in the firehouse.
Yeah, fuck rats, man.
Interesting.
Some firefighters chose Dalmatians as personal pets in honor of their past. What a delightful story.
What a delightful story. Greg, you tell such a good story.
I've told
What do you guys think of Dalmatians?
My grandma owned one growing up, but I was like 8 when it died, and she was deaf. So, but she was like beautiful. I mean, I always just thought of 101, Dalmatians.
I feel like they're almost an extinct breed.
Exactly.
You never see Dalmatians.
That's why at Ellison Dog Park this morning when I brought Taco there, I saw 2 of them.
Okay.
And I was like the owner. I was like, oh my God, I can't even, like, what? You have Dalmatians?
Yeah, you're that lady just
Yeah.
like, oh my God.
It was crazy.
I can't remember the last time I've seen one. I heard they're kind of assholes, though. But
Yeah.
if they're...
That's what I'm saying. The first experience I had with a Dalmatian, it like almost bit my head off. So like ever since then, well, Greg, you experience that often. So.
Yeah, I got bit by a Dalmatian.
True story. I just snorted. All right, cool story, Greg. Cool story. Do you want me to get into my guy?
No, I'd rather just sit here and stare into your eyes in silence.
You can go in silence. Well, I mean, you can do that anytime. Anytime, brother. All right, so I'm going to dig into my story quick. My story is called 2 Bits. Survived falling 600 feet twice.
Wow.
Go fuck yourself. You fell 600 feet once. Do I sound like George Bush?
No.
No. Do you know the quote?
No.
Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice.
Shame on you.
No.
The point is you don't get fooled twice. He was our president.
Right.
He actually said that.
Yep. That.
All right, so Two Bits is the name. So TB became famous in history as a war hero on the home front in the U.S. during World War II, not for giving up his fun of chasing chipmunks, despite his 2 falls over a cliff while doing so. So he just likes chasing shit, and then almost probably should have died a couple times. During the winter of 1942-1943, Bill Ziegler, with his dog Two Bits and another man, worked for the Army Air Corps. The Army Air Corps. I thought it was the Air Force. In the remote wilderness of Rogue River National Forest in Oregon. A 14 by 14 foot lookout facility sat on top of Whiskey Peak, 6,490 feet above ground. Next to the near vertical 600-foot drop to the valley below, the facility was a U.S. Forest Service fire spotting point that the Army took over during World War II as a part of its aircraft warning service. The 2 men were to observe the western skies for enemy aircraft until new technology of radar could be installed in strategic places. Whiskey Peak looks like it's honestly like in the middle of nowhere. It's on the top of a peak where they have like a horse strapped to the side of the building because I don't even know how you get a horse.
No windows. Oh, wait. Maybe there
Can
is
you
a couple.
imagine
Couple baby windows.
Oh, yeah.
being posted on that job? Like, oh, you're on Whiskey Peak this month, just all alone by yourself, and a
miserable.
dog that likes to jump off cliffs.
We don't know if he likes to do it yet, Greg. Come on, hold off. Two Bits, TB, was a fox terrier who loved to chase the chipmunks that hung around begging for food. Fuck those chipmunks. I hate those things. Have you guys ever seen the Disney movie Over the Hedge?
No.
All right, well, I'm the oldest of 5, so I watched a lot of Disney movies in my day. But Over the Hedge is about, like, basic neighborhood animals, but the chipmunk is hilarious because at one point the chipmunk rails a energy drink and then like everything's in slow motion because they're already so fucking jacked
That's
up.
great.
I thought it was hilarious. All right, so by February the snow on the summit was abundant and ice had formed over the nearby cliff. One day Two Bits went running after rodents with too much enthusiasm near the edge of the cliff. He skidded across the ice and fell over the ledge. Jesus Christ. Ziegler yes. Ziegler, who was a good distance away, saw his poor dog go over. Oh, that'd be terrifying to see. Ugh, that'd be miserable. Ellie looks like she's about to cry. No words can say it. The distraught man walked to the point where Two Bits fell. He looked over the 600-foot drop and knew there was no way the beloved dog could have survived the plunge. Well, who knows? The title of the story kind of fucks this story because there's like suspense at the end of every paragraph, but the title is like dog that survived 2 falls twice.
Well, yeah, dude. Every time you print out the story, I never read the title because it ruins the story.
Gotcha. About a week later, Ziegler was on a nearby trail when he was amazed to see Two Bits climbing slowly up towards him with his head down and his tongue hanging out. Yeah, he's probably shot. Fell down 600 feet.
Did he break anything?
I don't know. The dog was tired but still managed to happily wag his tail. Apparently, Two Bits had fallen into a deep snowdrift.
What are you two doing over there telling secrets to each other?
So he fell into a deep snowdrift that cushioned his fall. He was able to dig himself out and make a long trek back to his owner. Hell yeah, that's a fucking boss move. After he got some food in his belly and much needed rest, the spunky dog went back to his normal routine. He's like
rubber bones.
Yeah, rubber. He's like a child, like little kids have little rubber bones.
No big deal.
Not really.
It's a couple bruises. Check it off.
Don't be.
Chase a chipmunk the next day off that same cliff.
Perhaps. You would think Two Bits learned his lesson, but no, he's got a fucking dog brain. All right. But 2 weeks later, he took the same plunge. Again, Ziegler assumed the worst, but to his amazement, the determined dog made it back to the top of Whiskey Peak a few days later. What are you doing, bro? You're just chasing chipmunks into oblivion over and over again?
Dude, that is determination.
Yeah, determined to catch that goddamn fucking cracked out chipmunk.
You know what? The funny part is, he's probably never caught that chipmunk.
Never. He's never caught one. He doesn't even. He could catch one and be like, "This tastes like shit."
Chipmunk probably put on the brakes and he just went off a cliff twice.
Is that a Top Gun reference? I'll just throw on the brakes and I'll pass right by.
I don't know. I'm thinking
Roadrunner.
Roadrunner. Yeah.
Me too.
Same thing.
I'm having a real Roadrunner scenario play out here.
All right. Once his duty was over, Ziegler and Two Bits, TB, returned to their Jacksonville home. The news of the dog surviving 2 falls over the cliff without physical impairment or loss of morale went national. The Medford Mail Tribune and even Life magazine hailed Two Bits as a war hero and canine symbol of home front stolidity and determination. What does stolidity mean? Anybody?
As the teacher.
We have 2 teachers here.
Stolidity.
I teach 3rd grade.
So
What's that supposed to
Crystal,
mean?
Crystal, you're not
Google it.
Yeah, you're not teaching your students stolidity.
We have
as
how many
a-
people there with master's degrees in this room? And
Stolidity.
Yeah, you got it.
Stolid means to be calm and dependable.
Say that again into the mic.
Stolid means to be calm and dependable.
Okay,
Showing
so,
little emotion or animation.
so stolidity.
so like stoic.
Yeah, similar. Yeah, it's a synonym. So stolidity and determination. Two Bits lived a good life and passed away a few years after war ended. Fuck yeah, that dog is pretty cool.
Yep.
Yep. Thanks, Greg. Thanks for input.
What was the worst fall you've ever taken, Scott?
Let me think. My worst fall, it had to be when I was a little bit younger.
I mean,
I'm thinking.
it wasn't when you were older.
I'm thinking. I don't know, man. Worst fall, probably I was. So it's not like a real far elevation fall, but I fell real hard. I was rollerblading backwards down a monster hill in Skinny Atlas where I grew up. Fucking ate shit, slammed my head, bleeding all over the place. Probably had a concussion. Rollerbladed home and just went to bed. Probably should have died. My mom did nothing. Love you, Mom, but you didn't take care of that one the right way. But yeah, that was a pretty
Concussions
bad
weren't real when we were that
They
age.
weren't.
Yeah, concussions weren't a thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. You're right. So that was my. What was yours?
What about you two?
Oh yeah.
Probably when I was 4, I fell off my bike into a bed of rocks, and I got a rock stuck in my eyebrow. I'm not kidding. Like, it was, like, embedded in my eyebrow, and I had to go to the emergency room, and I'll never forget it. It was, like, the most traumatic experience of my life because they put me in a straitjacket.
What?
I'm not kidding. I'll never forget it.
Are you sure that was because
No,
of the rock?
Because they were trying to get it out, and I was, like, going nuts. And they put me in this blue, like, straitjacket type thing. And this is, like, the quote for my whole life. I said, "Stop it, stupid, I can't breathe." And, like, for the rest of my life, that is, like,
stupid, I can't breathe.
what I screamed at the doctor. And I have, like, this scar here.
Oh, let me see. Let me see that.
It's just
Can't really.
traumatic.
It was traumatic.
It was not that bad.
You were 4?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty. I'd be freaking out too. Ellie, what about you? You have any rough patches in your life?
I can't. Not that I can think of. I have pretty solid legs, so I don't fall much.
Very sturdy base.
I do.
That's hilarious.
Yikes.
All right, Greg, what about you? You got
Oh
any fuck-ups?
man! So me and my buddy were building this fort in the woods, and
Age?
I want to say like middle school, but we were probably in high school.
We're
We're saying like middle school age.
acting like middle school.
So middle school age, we're building this fort with a bunch of hammer and nails, and we didn't have any lumber, so we went around the woods and found all this rotted out wood that was just laying on the forest floor.
Oh yeah,
So
that's,
we had this-
that's the good stuff.
Yeah, we had this bad boy like 3 stories up, and I'm on the 3rd story hammering away to go make a fort, and the floor just collapsed on me, and my buddy was underneath. So I just squished him with 2 floors of wood and myself, but I landed on my feet.
What?
Yeah. Don't even know how it happened.
So you fucking killed your buddy?
So this is the
You
worst
fucking
fall.
you landed and
Ew.
squished. You squished.
No, he went through it.
I thought you said you squished him underneath
You both
you.
ended up standing,
Yeah.
He was on his knees and you were standing. It was super
and
cute.
it went
Yeah.
through
The
it.
floor gave out because it was just made of crappy wood that was all rotted out. We found on the floor's floor. So we fell like 3 stories. I fell like 2 stories down because the wood gave out.
Stories was this?
What?
How many stories was
It was
really?
2. So I was on
2
the
or
2nd
3?
floor.
You were up there. You're like 30 feet in the air.
Oh, yeah. We were up there. We tried to get way up in the trees.
But so this story is hilarious, but you didn't injure yourself at all.
No. It's fine.
Sturdy legs too.
My buddy.
Just ended up
My buddy he was hurting. He was a little dizzy. He's alive. He's all right.
He's not dead.
He's good. A little bit slow. Drinks from a feeding tube. No, I'm kidding.
Consistently, yeah. All right, so Ellie and Crystal, you guys mentioned a story when you were walking in that you were talking about on the way over. What was it again about? Like dogs saving dogs, people helping people.
A border collie saving a chihuahua from a car.
Whoa.
And it was
it's like all over Facebook. I watched it this morning, and then as we were walking over here, she was like, "Oh my god, did you see this video?"
All right, I'm gonna look it up. All right, so is this the
Pretty
one?
cute. Yeah, the first one.
All right, I need you guys to navigate this video with your dialogue. Go.
So it's snowy out, and there's a bunch of dogs playing. Looks like a big driveway.
It's almost like a cul-de-sac. Like it's an open area, but there's.
Cul-de-sac.
Oh my god.
This is like this is like terrible footage.
Oh my god!
Close call.
What? That was the fastest video ever. Oh
Yeah.
my! I want it. Holy
I
shit!
didn't see this
I
part.
didn't see this part either.
So this lady's backing up, and she doesn't see her little black and white chihuahua,
She,
and the border collie runs out of,
Like 1 foot away from death.
grabs him, and throws him out of the way.
oh my god! Look at that thing.
Pretty
It's
cute. I know
that
he's
looks like a
little-
stuffed animal. What is that?
does.
It looks like a
I
cat.
don't know if she would have hit him,
That dog is.
Well, she might have saw it at the last second.
but the fact that the border collie did that is fucking amazing.
Border collies are smart as fuck. They're like, let me save my
Yeah.
little bruh.
He's like,
I feel like that's not even a real animal.
I know, it looks like a guinea pig. You guys should
Holy
watch
shit.
it. Border
It looks like
collie
one of
saves
those-
Chihuahua from being run over by a car.
That is fucking unreal. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
I keep replaying this.
I
That's
know.
so cool. This stupid little French
Wait.
bulldog or whatever this thing
It's
is.
like Chihuahua.
What's the timestamp on this lady backing her car up?
Well, she's driving the same car that I drive. So I apologize.
The Lesbobile.
yeah.
Oh, we got 1701.
That's amazing.
She drives away, and then she comes back. At what time? 1701.
Oh, it's pretty much. She must have
Bitch.
saw it the last second.
She's like, oh my god, I love you both. Thank you for doing that. Border collie.
She's like, okay, gotta go to work. Bye.
No, she was like telling her fucking collie to fuck off. She was trying to kill the little midget thing. Oh! Sorry, no, that's pretty dark.
Wait, why did she drive away and then come back?
I don't know. Doesn't make any sense.
I'm gonna be
calling
honest, I don't
phony
like her.
baloney on all of this.
I don't like her. I don't like the way she looks.
Happened
Greg.
on March 4th, 2000.
I don't like her car.
Ellie, I'm gonna just correct you. It's 2/4/2019.
February. Use your fingers.
Oops, I know my months. I swear.
All right.
That's pretty legit. That's funny. Greg, where are we at? Where are we at, bud? Oh. Don't want to watch this. Don't want to watch this. I had one other thing to talk about, Greg. I took a little note in my phone as usual, but I thought it was pretty ridiculous. I can't remember. Oh, yeah. Have you guys, all of you, I'm talking to all of you, have you ever heard of laudanum? Laudanum as like a form of old school alcohol?
No.
No? Laudanum? I'm going to search. Hang on. Laudanum. Alcohol.
Laudanum.
It's all right. Laudanum.
It looks
Laudanum.
absolutely terrible.
You can buy it on Amazon. It's a old school medication. The reason I'm bringing this up, I watched this documentary about Bonnie and Clyde
Yeah,
last
dude, you're
night.
all about the drugs recently. What's going on? You all right?
I'm in the drug industry, man. I just read
Oh,
all
you
about
are,
it.
yeah.
But I was reading.
Sells drugs to kids.
I used to. But
He's not kidding.
Not.
Yeah. Don't want to talk about it. Don't judge me. But no, laudanum, Greg, fuck off, is a tincture of opium
A taint?
containing approximately 10% powdered opium by weight. But it's like an alcoholic beverage that has opium in it as well. But I was watching this documentary last night. It was Bonnie and Clyde, and I guess Bonnie, out of the Bonnie and Clyde duo, fucked her leg up at one point in like a fire. So she was just crushing the shit for like years and then smoking dudes in the face when they were killing people. But the reason I brought it up is because I didn't fucking know what it was. But I was watching this documentary and she was like chugging this stuff, this laudanum. But it made me think about the Yeah.
It's like old school opium, bro.
The name just
They
sounds
didn't have
disgusting.
they didn't have the technology to put chemicals into pills back then. So they made these things called tinctures. So what they would have done was taken the opium flower, soaked it in alcohol, which would have removed the active chemical, and then you just crush it and get fucked up.
Yeah, is that how science works?
I'm just it's like essential oils nowadays. It's the same deal, dude. How do you not know this, people?
I don't.
Am I the only one with a brain?
Wait, you're supposed to drink essential oils.
You could. I don't recommend it. I'm not a doctor though, so
Yeah, I'll preface this with that I'm not a doctor. All right, so
Well,
that's
what's
the
your
last
point?
thing. That's all I was saying. It's just the fact that Bonnie and Clyde, if you guys haven't seen the documentary,
cool
it's
story,
awesome.
bro.
Thank you, Greg.
Did you find $20 too?
I kind of just want to drink some laudanum. That's all good. All right, where are we at, Greg? Are we good?
Yeah,
we good?
let's
Girls,
wrap it up here.
Ladies, women, do you wanna fucking say anything
Anything
else?
to add?
No.
Tell us where to find your shit.
Fun. Oh yeah, Figgy Pudding Art at Figgy Pudding Art
And
on Instagram.
on Instagram. And what else?
We also have an Etsy at
Oh, yeah.
Figgy Pudding Art.
Yeah, and we're also having a show for all you Rochesterians. I think Scott mentioned it last week. May 4th. It's a Saturday from 3 to 6 at our studio space on 34. 34 Elton Street, Studio 34.
Tell me
yeah.
what Etsy's like, because sorry to...
Etsy, it's great, but it's...
You just can post all your shit on there.
Yeah, so we have a link in our bio on our Instagram feed that you can go to purchase. We don't have much posted on there. We got to get better about doing that, but...
Etsy's like eBay for hippies.
Yeah.
yeah.
eBay's for rednecks.
We have
Etsy's
a lot of
for
cool
hippies.
So
handmade stuff.
if I'm trying to find a hippie dog, I go to Etsy
Yeah.
Yes.
and then eBay.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, sweet. Well, thank you guys. I appreciate you guys coming on.
Thanks for having us.
Ellie, are you thankful as well?
Yeah, this is fun.
Hey, Ellie's rocking some dope earrings right now that I would.
Figgy.
Figgy. Those are awesome though. All right, Greg. Do you want to wrap us up? You want me to wrap us up? Greg's over there fucking feeling himself.
Do we need to wrap it up?
Not literally. Not literally.
With the 4-person condom.
There are 4 of us.
We could open this thing. We could open 2. We have 8 hands. We could open 2 condoms at once.
Oh my god, we do.
I didn't hear a single word any of you said.
Yeah, we were kind of talking over each other. Ellie goes, "We could wrap it up with a 4-person condom."
Because you need 4 hands.
Yeah, but we have 8 hands. We have 8 hands. I mean, we have a potential orgy going on right now.
We do.
Kind of. Sorry. All right. Well, follow us again as usual at Barkology Podcast. Everywhere you listen to podcasts: YouTube, Stitcher, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Listen to us at Barkology Podcast and on Instagram and Facebook, Barkology Podcast, Twitter, Barkology Pod, and go to the Wag Swag, the gear, the fresh shit at barkology.itemorder.com. And Greg, we wrap it up. Do you guys know how we wrap it up? Wag more, bark less.
Wag more, bark less.
Or bark less.
Ready? 1, 2,
love
3.
it.
Wag more, bark less. See ya, folks.